Welcome to the Raleigh Municipal Lighting Plant board meeting of March 18th, 2015. And I declare the meeting open at 7 p.m. Okay, our first agenda item is citizens' query from 7 p.m. to 7:10 p.m. Agenda item number 2 is review and accept minutes from previous meetings, and we have 2 meetings we need to look at for the minutes. January 14th, 2015. Has everybody had a chance to take a look at them and find any mistakes or changes or anything like that? Any comments? I noticed here, Dan, we talked about the Prospect Hill, possibly putting a new underground in up there for the tank and the communications.
Yes.
Okay, there is a project that's coming forward to rebuild the roadway up there,
Okay.
and the town and the water department are going to come up with some funds to do that. So we might want to look at that as probably a good time to maybe try to do that job.
Okay.
See how it goes.
You know what the time frame is on that?
I don't right now. I know that right now they're looking for some prices and things.
Okay.
Okay. You all set, Ken?
Yeah, on that one, yeah.
Okay. If nobody has any comments or suggestions or questions, I'll call for a motion.
Make that motion, Mr. Chairman. Accept the minutes.
Motion made.
And I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Bob. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, minutes number 2 is January 21st, 2015. And this was the special meeting to review the new rate study.
Mr. Chairman, you entertain a motion?
I will entertain a motion.
Give me that motion.
Motion made.
And I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
one thing about, the explanation about the warrant, about signing the warrant. With myself and,
Yep,
okay,
yep, we can talk about that.
all right.
Yep. Actually, we were down in the selectmen. I don't know, you may have heard that one of them has turned in his resignation.
Mm-hmm.
And what we found between Bob and I being on both the selectmen and the light board, we can't get enough signatures on the warrants and payrolls.
Okay.
So Monday night, the selectmen voted to allow myself to sign the light department side of the warrants and
Okay.
payroll, and Bob will sign the selectmen's side. So that way we can get the 3 signatures that we need.
Okay.
So I won't be signing on the warrant side.
You won't be signing the light department
Light
warrant
warrant
side or the
side.
payroll?
I'll be signing
Okay.
Yeah.
Selectman side.
That's good to know, because if like Kenny's away, we need to make sure that we
Right.
get at least 2 signatures on that, so.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we'll see how it goes. What we did was we actually, through the open meeting law and the things like that, it's a necessity, they call it, because you can't get enough signatures to make it work. So there's a rule of necessity,
Mm-hmm.
and we implemented that is to be able to allow us to do that.
Yes.
So,
If it becomes a real issue, I know you can do that also and allow me to sign the payroll.
okay,
And as one signature, I know other municipalities that have done that in the past as
Yeah.
well. And that
Okay.
way, I believe it still goes to the selectmen, but it would avoid, it wouldn't have to go before the commissioners, it just goes straight to town hall.
right.
So
Okay, yeah,
it's-
we can talk to the accountant about that and see
Okay.
what she thinks of that, if in fact one of us isn't available
Yep.
to sign. So we'll talk to her about that one.
Okay, all
And
right.
this only be for the next 2 months,
Yeah,
until the election.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna wait till the election before, you're not gonna appoint anybody midterm or?
no,
okay,
it's,
all right.
we'd
Since
have to
it's so
call,
close.
yeah, on the selectman side, you'd have to have all of the boards, if somebody resigns, say somebody resigned from the light department, it would come before the Board of Selectmen and the remaining commissioners,
Mhm.
and they could appoint somebody to fill the unexpired term. But at the selectmen, because that's at the top of the pile, that can't happen. You gotta hold an election.
Okay,
So that becomes kind of expensive. It's $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to put together an election and all that kind of stuff, and pay
Right.
for the ballots and the workers at the election and everything, so.
Yeah.
Where it's so close.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we're only talking another 2 months.
yep,
And
okay.
there'll be an election, so that's how we'll handle that one. Okay, the next item is the pilot payment to the town of Rowley, and pilot stands for Payment in Lieu of Taxes, PILOT. So we have a payment in lieu of taxes to the town of Rowley, and move the manager of the municipal lighting plant under the direction and control of the municipal light board for the expenses of the plant for said fiscal year 16 as defined in chapter 57 of chapter 164 of the general laws, makes a payment in lieu of taxes to the town of Rowley in the amount of $30,074.21. So I would call for a vote, or actually a motion to do that. Is there any discussion or comment? We've been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah.
Mhm. The amount is actually increased by roughly $3,000 from last year.
Okay,
It's due to adding lights in town. Mostly this year was the town common lights.
yeah,
We added, roughly 20-something 50-watt LEDs, so that drove the price up a little bit.
okay,
And the selectmen authorizing adding different lights around the town, and us just, replacing lights, adding lights here and there, so.
okay,
Also, on the same note, the selectmen did authorize to add more fixtures on a 3-year plan. We've already finished the
Right.
first of the 3-year plan. This year, we've added probably another 24 fixtures already
Oh,
this
good.
year, so.
good,
You'll see this pilot payment. It'll waver a little bit. It should go up a little bit, might go down a little bit, only because we're adding, kilowatt hours, but some of them may be changing out 70-watt high-pressure sodium or 39-watt LED, so it may be a little bit of a change out, but most of it should go up a little bit more
Okay.
in years.
All right, call for a motion.
I'll give you that motion.
And I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
Could there be a problem with me signing this? Only the warrant. The warrant should be, there shouldn't be.
Yeah, that probably would be a good idea, Bob, to have you abstain.
You know,
Do you want to sign it and just check abstain, or do you want to not? Do you want to bother with that, or you just want to
yeah,
abstain
just
from the
put
whole
the
vote?
right abstain.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe I should initial that, just to,
Yes, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. The next item agenda is the annual town meeting article, and this is basically an article that we do every year, more or less, to allow us to keep the plant operating. So I probably should read the article. I've read it many times. Can almost say it by heart.
Yeah.
And it's moved the town vote to appropriate the income from the sales of electricity to private customers and for electricity supply to municipal buildings, municipal street lighting, and for municipal power and from sales of appliances and jobbing during the current fiscal year to the municipal lighting plant. The whole to be expended by the general manager of the municipal lighting plant under the direction and control of the municipal light board for the expenses of the plant for said fiscal year, as defined in section 57 of chapter 164 of the general laws, upon condition that if said income shall exceed said expense for said fiscal year, such excess shall be transferred to the construction fund of said plant and appropriated and used for such additions thereto as may be authorized by the municipal light board. And that is a standard boilerplate type article that goes into the town meeting warrant.
Correct. Yep.
So, entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we accept that.
Okay, I'll second it. How's that?
There you go.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Can I,
You want to abstain again?
yeah, I think I
Yeah.
should abstain again.
Okay, no, that's fine. This one really doesn't give anything back to the town,
No.
but. So you want to just, yeah, jump off the abstention.
Just one, on the other one, on the light.
Yeah, street lighting.
Street lighting. Should we go back and revote that, just to make sure, and have me abstain from that, because I voted yes. I think we should reopen that, just to be
On the safe side, sure.
on the safe side.
Yeah, now you made the motion, right, for that one?
I made the
Why
motion,
don't
so
you-
let's,
Why don't you
I'll
withdraw
make
that motion?
I'll make a motion to withdraw the motion on the
that you
streetlights.
made? Okay,
Okay?
and can you withdraw your second? Withdraw your second?
Hmm?
Can you withdraw your second on the street lighting?
Oh,
Because we're gonna revote it again. Yeah,
okay.
I have to, Kenny, I have to abstain, because if I'm signing on the selectmen's side, on the
Yep.
warrant, so I'm gonna abstain.
Yeah, I
just
can
to-
understand that, yeah.
Okay?
Okay, so vote to withdraw the original motion.
Okay.
All
Make
those in
a
favor?
motion.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So the original motion was withdrawn. Now we'll accept the motion to accept the street lighting article. Of pilot.
I'll second it, yeah.
Okay. Well, you have to make the motion.
Did you make the motion?
No, you're gonna make the motion,
We'll make a motion, we accept the street lighting.
and I will approve.
And I
Okay.
will
I'm
I'll
second.
abstain. That way now it's
And
legal.
all those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
aye. Aye. And Bob will
It's a
abstain.
little confusing.
Okay. It is a little bit
Yeah, that's
confusing.
confusing. This is the first time we've done this, so.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no question about it.
yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
so that takes care of that.
Cool, thank you.
This is
All right.
something that's come up.
Yeah, because we're missing one selectman. So
Oh.
it makes it much more harder to sign off on the warrants and payrolls.
Yeah.
Okay, update on Rowley Generation Project.
This has been on the agenda quite frequently lately. Actually, it's been on the agenda every month.
Yep.
I am continually looking and talking to people about how we may want to move forward with either getting our own generation or distributed generation in some way, shape, or form for the town of Raleigh to avoid some costs going forward for the town and our ratepayers. I've spoken with Energy New England. They had they partnered with a company that does distributed generation. So right now, what we're looking at now is trying to run the numbers. Running the numbers both ways, running the numbers as a standalone generation for Raleigh or as a distributed generation resource that would be on a customer's site somewhere within the town. There are multiple different ways we can structure this. It's just trying to evaluate each one in order to get the best deal for the ratepayers in the
Yeah,
town of
yeah.
Raleigh. And that's really what is the key and what's driving, all the discussion that I have with all these different folks about this is trying to get the best, the best deal for the town of Raleigh and its ratepayers. So it is ongoing. I am continually talking to these people and trying to going to seminars, going to meetings about this. I am still looking into it. The time, it's been told to us that the time is getting a little short. I don't believe it's getting that short. I believe that if we did decide to go, let's say a distributed generation at a customer's site, from the estimates I've seen, it could be 6 months to a year at the, just to get it done. That's not a long time frame. I mean, and there are plenty of customers within the town in clusters of multiple customers that within the town that we could probably site generation at where it's already sited either industrial zoned or commercial zoned. Whereas if we did it, we'd be siting it in a residential area rather than in a commercial. So there's a lot of different ways we can look at this. There's a lot of different ways we gotta weigh the different options. So it is a continuing process. So I will definitely keep you up to date as far as how we're progressing and which direction. Once we get kind of the numbers straightened out, I'll come back to the board and say, it's looking like we should pursue this or this, and we can talk about the different options. And I'd like to have somebody, either maybe from Energy New England, come in, talk to the board and say, and basically discuss some of the options with the board, especially once we get all the numbers squared away
Yeah.
and we decide which direction we want to go in. It's a common theme among a lot of municipalities right now. So we're not alone in looking at this.
Yeah, yeah.
So there are a number of large municipalities, looking at it right now. The problem is we're not a large, within the state,
Yeah.
we're not a large municipality as
Right.
far as the light department goes. We're on the smaller side. It makes it difficult when you're on the smaller side because if we wanted to do this on our own, we'd be talking about bonding, between $2 and $4 million, which is a large amount, for the town, to swallow. Whereas, if we did a distributed generation on a customer's site, we don't have to do anything. The customer would buy the generation, install the generation, and basically it'd just be load shedding. So the customer would go offline. We'd shed the load at the certain times, and that would work for us.
Yep.
So I will keep you up to date.
Okay.
I will continually look at the different options, the numbers, and
Yeah.
we'll see where we go from here. But it's
good.
definitely
Okay.
something we need to keep.
I think we need to look into it,
Mm.
for sure, particularly with the way things are going these days. But, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I almost forgot to tell you. There's even one other option that you can actually lease the equipment. They just come in, they install it, they maintain it. You just sign basically a purchase power agreement with them. The unit runs, you get the energy from it, and that's it. So there's no O&M cost, there's no fuel cost, there's no. It's like they're looking. They're very.
Wow.
We might even be able to lease them some land.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of these companies are looking at very, I'm trying to think of the word, creative ways to get this done. You know, to get these in different areas within the Commonwealth.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds intriguing.
Mm.
Takes a lot of the responsibility off. We just get the energy.
The responsibility and the risk, because ISO New England and FERC have been known to take rules and regulations and adjust them the way they see fit. So if we decided to do a distributed generation
Mhm.
project, I'm talking about the town of Raleigh now, the light department, we're taking a lot of risk, a $4 million risk maybe, in installing this and then having them decide 2 years down the road, because it's a 20-year project,
Mhm.
2 years down the road decide that, well, we want to change the rules. And there is no grandfathering with them. There is no, well, it was already existing. Well, yeah, but, we decided we want to change the rules. So going forward, this is the way it's going to be. And it may, that's a big risk for us to take. So we'll definitely have to weigh that in.
We talked about the fuel source for the generation, so it would probably be natural gas, and we still don't know about getting natural gas out here.
Yeah.
A large supply pipeline.
That would be the second fatal flaw. The
Mhm.
first one is basically, do the economics work?
Mm-hmm.
For us. If the economics work, then you dig into the fuel supply.
Right.
Is there gas? No, there's no gas. Well, that's, can we do it with diesel instead of gas? So that, it's a progressive thing where you start with square one and then you go and you see, if it works for you or not.
And right now, you were discussing the last time with us about the pipeline coming across northern Massachusetts, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still waiting on that to see if that's gonna be allowed to come across.
Well, they've moved as you know, they moved the route into southern New Hampshire, and the people in southern New Hampshire reacted the same as the people in Massachusetts did.
Right.
What did they didn't think, it's still, they don't want it there either, and some of the people in Massachusetts who are protesting it went up to New Hampshire and they're still protesting the same thing. So it's not, there are people that oppose it on a land issue.
Mhm.
There's a lot more people that oppose it as a environmental issue
Right.
rather than a land issue. So we'll have to see where that goes.
Where it shakes out.
Mhm.
We're really over a barrel, no pun intended, but when it comes to energy up in the Northeast here,
Yep.
we really have to do something.
And we should have built the nuclear plant in Ipswich.
That was a joke.
For the people at home, that was a joke.
That was
yes.
a joke. Otherwise, we'll have a lot of letters coming in.
Believe it or not, they had looked into it back when Seabrook was still on paper. Before they did anything up there, actually before they even chose a site. They were talking about doing it and
Wow.
back in the 60s. So, used to have a rendition over at the light department, a drawing. I don't know if it's still there or not, but
Probably someplace.
yeah, could be. Okay, well, that seems to take care of the agenda. So,
It's not on the agenda, but the next meeting, do you want to keep a normal schedule? second Wednesday of the month.
If it works,
Okay,
that should be fine.
That'll be the 8th.
okay,
Okay.
April 8th, okay.
okay.
Is that okay with you, Ken?
Yeah,
Good,
sounds good, yeah.
okay.
Entertain a motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Give me that motion.
Second it.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned at
How was the Washington trip?
7:27.
The